Exploring questions at the Liminality Institute.
Yeah.
So way cool. So what was your question?
Well, my question is, having moved here I guess it's been about 9 months now, and I've lived in and out of Sedona, and I've been in a lot of areas with different vortex energy while living in and out of here, but never where I am right now, and I don't know that much about that vortex, so I wanted to ask you if you could share, because a lot of people listening or watching this that are coming to Sedona, they usually have a lot of questions about vortexes.
Yeah.
So I'm right under Thunder Mountain.
Oh yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about that specific vortex?
That's a very high energy place.
Yeah, and or any others that might be beneficial for the people that are going to be watching and coming here.
My experience is that what a power spot, there's always a lot of ambiguity over what causes the power spot. You know, is it the electromagnetism? Is it the geology of that place? And I think that's something there's always mystery around. We don't know why. And also power spots wax and wane. I'm sure you felt how some days it's way up and some days it's way down. One thing that I've learned over the years is that interdimensional energy is very much like electromagnetism, and so it flows one way sometimes, and that's what's called positive, and the other way another time, and that's negative, and a lot depends on where the Earth is at any given time. But those places, basically the electromagnetism opens us up to a wider experience. And Thunder Mountain is considered by many to be like a central one, where the other ones are kind of all around Thunder Mountain.
Oh,
so it's in many ways it's like the heart of a mandala. It is,
Or Wonka Tonka if we were in the medicine wheel right in the center.
One of my favorite things is Joseph Campbell talks about when Black Elk speaks, how he says that how Wonka Tonka is the center of the universe, but every mountain is the center of the universe. And he says that's a very important point when we move beyond cultural divinity into a wider perception of it. And in a way, the vortexes that are here, the vortices that are here in Sedona are lined up with vortices all around the world, but at different times in the cycle of the Earth, certain ones get more amplified, and that's what is happening in Sedona. Why the vortices here are so much more active than in other places, because there's a lot of outflow here. So I would say, you know, of the you know, a lot of people say that some vortices are masculine and some are feminine. My experience is that a lot of that changes depending on the cycles and the seasons. So Thunder Mountain is the most mix of masculine and feminine that I've ever felt. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say it's very masculine, but my experience has been is that it is a very equal mix, a lot of yin-yang energy, and a lot of worlds come together on Thunder Mountain. So there's a tremendous amount of portals around that mountain, which are, you know, doorways into other dimensions. So
So when you say a lot of worlds, are you talking about different planets, galactic, or is it
in a way all of them. You know, it's like physical worlds are one type of world that different portals open into, but many portals open into energetic dimensions and non-physical dimensions. So that's one of the powers of a high level portal, is they're not usually just limited to opening to one place. They open to many spaces. So they're kind of like revolving portals. You know, there are many portals that open only to a specific place. But the portals in Sedona tend to be very moving or rotating. They open to many worlds depending on the person depending on the season. Yeah, as far as what worlds will come through in this space. Yeah.
Interesting. So how do those other vortices, the ones that we think of, frequently when people look at, a picture of Sedona, they look at Cathedral Rock. I mean, it's an iconic, right? Vortex there, there's Bell Rock, there's all these others that you mentioned. So how do they interact with Thunder Mountain? What?
I don't know if there's one single answer to that. Depends a lot on the person and where they're at and what they're drawn to do. A big part of interacting with a power spot is really trusting your intuition. So a lot of times people who go to them for the first time don't quite know what to do. They are led to do it. And if they really listen, and that's part of what a power spot is helping us get in touch with that part of our intuition where we're connecting to a cosmic energy.
Right.
And power spots will ask us to do simple things, sometimes just moving a stick or moving a rock in order to connect with that spot, but that is a big part of connecting to it, is listening to that.
A lot of people that come here, I found, will say, and go to a vortex and say, well, I don't feel anything. I didn't feel anything. Well, a lot of it is right after you leave here.
Exactly. And a lot of it is very subtle.
And it's very subtle. So they're looking for some big, thunder.
It depends a lot where they're at any given time. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
one last question is, can you comment a little bit about, obviously the planet's ascending. We're going through this great transition and transformation right now. What is your feeling about the predictions that Sedona is going to be one of the major hub crystalline cities as we emerge into this new
I think there's a
era
really,
of, 1,000 years apiece.
There seems to be a lot of evidence to indicate that that's true, and I've observed it over the years and observed it without ever really holding an opinion on it. A lot of my work is about stepping outside of points of view, but there seems to be a lot of evidence to indicate that is what's happening here.
Seems like there's a gradual and maybe an accelerated now gearing up of different things that are being anchored here for that time, for it to emerge as this amazing, it already is a beacon of light, but
as one of the emergent point. Yeah, exactly. I completely agree.
You do.
So
Me too.